Hey, what's going on YouTube? So I've often been asked in many videos what kind of rock sliders I have on my Tacoma. And the answer is, they're not. They're not rock sliders. They're actually steps. And today we are going to see if we can maintenance them because they're starting to make a little bit of noise. That's coming up. So they are not rock sliders. They are amp research running boards, which are retractable steps. So when you open the door, they drop down, close them, they go back up. And they're driven by an electric motor, obviously. The motor on this side is back here. And recently it's been starting to make a little bit of noise, so I want to see if I can open it up and grease it. I think that might be the issue. That might fix our problem. But we're going to get into it and see if that fixes it. So the motor is only held on with 2 screws. Comes off really easy. It's pretty dirty in here. There's a gear that locks up in here. And there's another cover that I believe we can take off because it looks like there's a reduction gear or something like that in here. So there's probably some more gears inside here. So I'm going to take this off with these 3 screws and take a look inside here. So once I opened it up, it does look a little more complicated in here than what I had thought. There is what looks like a lot of white lithium grease in here, but it's all pushed out to the sides. So it's not really on the gears anymore. So I'm really just trying to move it around to put it back onto the gears. I don't know if it would be a bad thing to just put normal grease in here, but since this grease is already in here, I'm just kind of spreading it around back onto the gears. It's still pretty clean inside here. It doesn't look like there's dirt or water being infiltrated inside here. So I'm just trying to use the grease that's already here and just trying to move it back around onto the moving components. And unfortunately, it looks like there's plastic gears in here too. I don't have any of this type of grease, so it's not like I can add any of this back in, unfortunately. I only have like a normal like wheel bearing type of grease, and I don't know if it would be bad to mix the greases. If anybody knows, leave a comment below. All right, so here's the test to see if it's quieter. Oh yeah. Not making the noise anymore. Outstanding. So this wasn't too challenging to take care of. I just opened it up, moved the grease around back onto the gears because it's kind of like pushed around to the outside of the gears. So just put it back onto the gears and now it's really quiet. The hardest part was the fact that the motor was still kind of dangling from the truck and I couldn't actually take it over to the workbench or anything like that, but easy to do. So my truck actually came with steps on it. I'll see if I can put a picture up here, if I still have it. The step was actually pretty close to like the cab of the truck, so I had to step up really high and then to sit way down into the truck. So they were kind of useless in my mind. Plus the placement of them, the step wasn't very big, so my foot would slip off or I'd try and step over it to not use it at all and it was in the way, so I really didn't like them. So I removed them and got these, and now with my lift, which if you don't know, I have a 2-inch in the front, 1-inch in the back. So it's not a really big lift. I have slightly bigger tires. They're 32-inch instead of 31-inch. You can find videos on all that stuff in my Tacoma playlist. Anyway, the step makes a big difference. It drops down lower, but then tucks up really close to the truck. I've had them on here for nearly 5 years. Yeah, so I checked. It has been nearly 5 years. It was November 2nd, 2017, and yes, I wrote down the date and the mileage that I installed those, at just shy of 800 miles. So 792 miles is what I had on the truck. As of this video, it is now August of 2022. They're still working just fine, other than the noise, and we took care of that. And I have about 34,000, just shy of 600 miles on my truck now. So about 34,000 miles that I've had these on the truck. And they're doing great. I love them. Right in here where I put my foot, there's some nicks in the coating, but it's not bad. Let me see if I can bring it closer. So here's a few of the scratches or nicks. There's like one right here, but that's about it. They're holding up really well. And let's see if we can show you some measurements. With my lift and my tires, my setup, the bottom of the step is about 11 1/4 off from the pavement right here at the door. There's a slight rake, but right here and kind of in the middle, 11 1/4 to the bottom and about 13 1/2 inches to the top. Now with them retracted, let's go to the very lowest point of the step, about 15 1/2 inches, which is higher than any of the components underneath there. So the lowest point is not these steps. The lowest point is actually probably the exhaust that crosses over. And I know there's things that you can get to replace that exhaust. I have not, because I don't really do rock crawling or anything like that, so it hasn't been an issue. But anyway, that's the height of these running boards. And so if you happen to be interested in these running boards, I'll see if I can put a link in the description so you can go and check them out. They are a bit pricey, but we've spent plenty of money on our trucks at this point. Why not spend some money here? So definitely like them. I don't know how well they would hold up if you were actually doing rock crawling and had a big old boulder scrape up against them. That's not really the type of off-roading I do. It's moderate at best for camping, but I don't go rock crawling or anything like that. So again, I do like them. I would buy them again in a heartbeat. And as you can see, it's got a nice big area to put my foot. Yes, I'm wearing Crocs. These are my grubby shoes. But it gives me a big, solid platform to step onto, getting in or out of the truck, as well as my girlfriend on the other side. She hated the other ones as well. She likes these ones. And again, if you want to see any of my other Tacoma videos, go check out my Tacoma playlist. There's a bunch of things that I've done to my truck. And we will catch you guys on the next one. See ya.